Hey guys, so today I'm going to help you understand what dangling modifiers are. These are usually missed by even the smartest writers, so I'm just going to help you understand what they are, where to find them, and how to fix them. All right? Okay, so first I think it's important to understand what modifiers are. So basically, modifiers are words, phrases, or clauses that provide description. So in logical and clear sentences, you should find the modifiers behind or in front of the words they describe. In other words, they should be as close as possible to what they describe. So for instance, looking at the example below here, angry, Dad grabbed the cake from Tom, whose hands were covered in cream. So here the modifier, the first modifier here is angry. So angry is describing someone or something. Now in this case, what it's describing, since angry is an adjective, is Dad. So angry Dad grabbed the cake from Tom. And then there's another modifier here. So then the second modifier is whose hands were covered in cream. So whose hands were covered in cream? So in this case, whose hands were covered in cream is a relative clause. So it's describing something here or someone. Now in this case, it's Tom. So reading it over again, angry Dad grabbed the cake from Tom, whose hands were covered in cream. So Tom is the one whose hands were covered in cream. So it's describing what his hands were covered in. So these are words that just modify, and usually you'll find them close to exactly what they're modifying. So you see here when you see the adjective angry, the word that comes closest is Dad. So angry is describing that. So you want to make sure they're as close as possible. And then for Tom, whose hands were covered in cream. So you see whose hands were covered in cream is describing Tom, right? Okay, so now what is a dangling modifier? So dangling modifier, these are words, phrases, or clauses that are missing their modifier. So in other words, they're dangling. They're far away from what they're describing. Um, so for instance here, starving, the leftover ice cream was devoured. Now after the word, the participle starving, it's it's missing. It's missing the thing that it's describing. It's nowhere to be found. So starving, the leftover ice cream was devoured. So what is starving? Can't possibly be the leftover ice cream. So it has to be something. There's a noun. There's something that is missing. Starving, the leftover ice cream was devoured. Now the next sentence here, searching in her massive bag, the phone escaped detection. Searching in her massive bag is a participle phrase, and it's describing something or someone. Now in this case, it can't be the phone escaped detection. That doesn't make sense. Searching in the phone can't possibly be searching in her massive bag. So here we're missing. So a dangling modifier, I may have incorrectly stated this at the beginning, but it's missing the modifier. So what exactly is searching in her massive bag modifying? It can't possibly be the phone escape detection. So there's something that's missing here. All right. So now how do you fix dangling modifiers? Now in order to fix dangling modifiers, you will have to place the word that is being modified as close as possible to the modifier. So you may also have to rearrange the words in a sentence or add something new so that the modifier has a target word to describe. So for instance, starving, I ate the leftover ice cream. So now in this case, the participle starving has something to modify. So in this case, it's I, the personal pronoun I. So starving, I ate the leftover ice cream. And you see that I is as close as possible to the participle. So after I say starving, I ate the leftover ice cream. So it has something. The word I is as close as possible to starving, starving being the modifier. Now the next sentence here, Searching in her massive bag, Jamie could not find his phone. So searching in her massive bag again is the participle phrase. So it's trying to describe something. It's trying to modify something. And remember again, you have to have the word that it's modifying as close as possible to the modifier. So in this case, searching in her massive bag, Jamie could not find his phone. So in this case, Jamie is the one that's searching in her massive bag. And you see that it's as close as possible to the participle phrase, searching in her massive bag. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a couple of practice questions. You can take your time, go over them, and then I'll give you the answers. All right, so for the first one, exhausted from basketball practice, Tom thought basketball practice was too much to bear. So I'm just going to go back here just to show you what we had at the beginning. So exhausted from basketball practice was too much to bear. So in this case, exhausted from basketball practice is a participle phrase. It's trying to modify something, but it's missing. So in other words, it's dangling. So basketball practice was too much to bear. That can't possibly be the thing that was exhausted from basketball practice. That wouldn't make sense. Basketball practice was too much to bear. Exhausted from basketball practice. It doesn't make sense. So missing. We're missing the thing that's being modified. And so to go to the answer, so exhausted from basketball practice, Tom thought basketball practice was too much to bear. So in this case, we have the noun or something that's being modified. Tom is the one that's exhausted from basketball practice. So now it's clear. Now you may have put in different words, you may have rearranged it differently, but it's just important to make sure that you have the word or noun or thing that's being modified as close as possible to the modifier. All right, so whether it be a participle phrase or just a simple adjective. All right, so let's go back to the second sentence. So angry, the printer was thrown out at the window. Angry is the adjective here. Um, Angry can't possibly be describing the printer was thrown at the window. The printer can't be angry. It's not in this world, so it wouldn't make sense. So again here, angry is dangling. The modifier is dangling because it's missing the thing that it's supposed to be modifying. All right, so let's go to the answer. All right, so angry, Anthony threw the printer at the window. So angry, the modifier has something to modify now. Anthony, the noun Anthony, the name Anthony. So Anthony is the one who's angry, and he threw the printer at the window. So angry is modifying Anthony. It's describing Anthony. All right. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please subscribe, share, and if you like, you can comment. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll be able to answer them.